well versed in all things sex, sexuality, and continues to stay open-minded and learn new things and help people connect deeply with themselves and their own sexuality. So, I found that.
You found me.
I found Angelia Robinson, and I want to thank Chef T for coming on the show with us and sharing in this amazing sexual talk. So we're gonna start this part 1 of a 3-part series with Angelia. Or Chef T, are you gonna be staying for the whole 3 weeks, or are you gonna be able to?
It's becoming tempting.
I'm telling you, you should. I'm just giving you a little bit. I'm a tidbit.
You guys are just rubbing me, just lettering me up so
Stroking
much.
her.
That's right.
Stroking, no pun intended.
Yeah. There we go. I'm just put you out on live, so that way you got reasons to stay. I'm just saying.
Well, you can always cancel that flight or miss it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's okay. But yes, I want to welcome y'all. So Angelia, thank you so much for coming on and being here and being so open.
Of course, you're welcome. This is what I do.
Absolutely. That's why I had no question that this was going to be a live show. So I want to dive right into this. I've
got all kinds of songs that pop into my head when you say little things like that. But go ahead.
So well, hold on. What was the first song that popped in your head?
I wanna die. Thinking about stuff like that.
You gotta get the hands up. Hey. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, I gotta calm down.
That's right, it's getting hot in here already.
Yeah,
we haven't even gotten started.
Oh, God, goodness gracious.
I'm take my jacket off.
I got the air conditioning on here. Ooh. So I want to get right into it. With addressing, I'm a guy, and you're a female, right? So, but we're going to have an open conversation about sex.
Okay.
You're a married woman. So how do you feel about that? How does that dynamic work for you in your marriage and that kind of thing?
I don't feel any type of way about it other than feeling empowered by it at this time in my life. Now, had you have caught me maybe 15 years ago, it would have been a different story, because I don't think I really knew who I was, and I wasn't very confident in that, right? And so a lot of times women, especially women, I mean some men too, but we're not here to talk about them so much so, I don't think. But, a lot of times we, unfortunately, I know, it's okay, don't worry. A lot of times we allow men to control us. And so that's when the fear comes in, to where you feel like you cannot be your authentic self. And I'm way beyond that. Like, I feel like Superwoman.
All right.
And so, I mean, much love to, my husband, to my life partner and all that. And he knows that I love and respect him. But I would never let anyone tell me what I can and cannot do if I'm doing good, especially. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that deeply. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's such a beautiful answer for that. Thank you so much for that. Because that just kind of, that was rings in my head, on experiences that I've had in my life, and kind of confirmation of, hey, that feeling that you had, that no, this is good, and good is good is good is good is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this and do this, that kind of thing,
And the thing is, the adult thing is that you're grown, I'm grown.
Exactly.
And I can't really tell you what to do, right? If you love and respect me, if I love and respect you, I don't want to do anything to hurt you.
Exactly.
And if the position that I'm taking is something that is going to hurt you and I can't do without it, you have the option to leave.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Exactly. I love the way you put that. It's so beautiful and so articulate. In my experience, I've had a lot of pushback on that, and with a lot of the people that I've coached and that kind of thing and worked closely with,
right.
That seems to be a trend, which is that's why I asked the question. And what a beautiful marriage that you have, knowing Angel personally and deeply. He is a mentor of mine. Yes. He is my brother. He is a reflection of me. I mean, we tight.
And yeah, and let me tell you,
we
he
tight.
has helped. He has helped, along with my profession. He has helped to shape and mold the powerful woman that I feel I become.
Absolutely.
Because he's also a strong, opinionated man. You know, he's got, you know, all the women love him. Everybody, men and women love him. You know what I'm saying? So
it's the voice.
Yeah, it's the voice, right? So we all, you know, he can just talk your jaws off. I mean, just like really, right? And you know, and we had to work through that. You know what I'm saying? That he was in a place in his life to where, you know, he dwelled in that, he loved that, he welcomed that, he accepted that, and it didn't matter who he was with, he wasn't willing to give that up, right? And so we had to come to a compromise and say, listen, I love you and I can't make you do anything. You're a grown-ass man. But if this is how you choose to be, if this is how you want to continue to be in your life, you can do that. I just choose not to be with you if you do.
I love that. But
he loved me enough to say, you know what, I don't know why I'm doing these things, and I don't love these things more than I love you. So let me cut that stuff out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's unconditional love.
Yeah.
It's unconditional love, and through that comes wisdom, and you grow. You can't help it. You can't help but be, you know, if you're in the room with Angeli or Angel, especially if they're in the room together, you can't help but...
It's infectious.
It really is. You can't help but be moved. It's like, oh, goodness gracious, this is some goodness, you know? And like I said, good is good is good is good is good no matter what it is. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So let's
I gotta shout out, my sister's watching.
Oh, that's okay.
My older sister. Hey, Kim. Is watching. The reason why I had to shout her out is because she's not a Facebooker or like social media. And she's just now getting on, like within the last 30 days. Has she gotten on any type of social media?
Welcome.
Right. So the fact that she's watching, I had to shout her out. Hey sis, love you.
That's absolutely beautiful. Good job, Kim. Proud of you. Yes. Proud of you. Yes. So let's dive in.
Yes.
All right.
So make Greg dance for us.
Oh goodness gracious! You're gonna bring me back to Little Bear, I swear.
Yep. Yeah. Bring you back.
All right, so we know that you know with the stuff that I've put out before the show, you're a sexual educator, and your specialty is educating women not only about their sexuality but them, you know, their soul, you know. It seems to really be a life-changing experience. But I want to ask a question: what is sexual education? You know, the only thing that I comes up in my head, you know, normally is what you teach in school.
The hardware.
Like, hey, this is a penis. This is a vagina. Yeah. You know, don't go near the butthole.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Don't leave out that.
Right. Yeah. It's horrible, isn't it? Okay. It's like, whoa. Yeah. We're missing the whole playground. Wait, hold on.
Love it. It's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be good.
I'm telling you, we're taking the gloves off, you know. Yeah. So don't miss out. Anyways, so in your expertise, you know, what is it to be a sexual educator?
Well, I'm a certified sexual health promoter. So I want to make sure I put out the proper
there we go.
title.
Okay.
Certified sexual health promoter. Oh no, it's fine. I mean, and what you said wasn't wrong, but I just want to make sure, you know, that people actually have the proper title, you know, for me, because there are people that have degrees and certifications that go well beyond me.
Right.
And so I want to make sure that I'm given my position and where I am.
Absolutely.
But your question was, you wanted to know, like, what is sexual education,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you asked that, because you're right. In school, we did not learn sexual education. We did not
at all.
Education. I mean, I vaguely just remember a couple of different images. I don't really remember anything that I learned that would have helped me in life concerning sexual health, you know? But, you know, they were just so in the dark as well. You know, there's still doctors today that don't know a lot about sexual health.
Yes.
You know, that's not their field per se. But sexual education covers everything from sexual reproduction. It even covers things like consent, which people don't think about that. Sexual consent and reproductive rights, which is, you know, always been a big thing. But it's really a hot topic right now with what's happening.
Very, very.
You know, birth control. You know, it's people think about just sex when they think about sexual education. And it goes far beyond that. There's a lot that we have to learn,
right? There's
and continue to learn.
Psychology into it. You know? A lot of that.
Yeah.
So as you do what you do, you know, how do you apply that? I mean, what is it? How is it that you bring all of those different factors? I mean, that must be daunting to educate and to present that to a population that really, I mean, you just like you said. I mean, I went through the same thing. A very limited education on sex, and then the rest of it came from porn and the kids at school.
Porn,
yeah. So how do you put that together and present that?
Well, I have to shout out a company by the name of Pure Romance. And that is really what opened up my eyes to being able to see so much more than what I had learned and all the taboo thoughts that I had surrounding sex, right? And intimacy and all the different things. So I'm a retired recording artist, and so I just kind of stumbled on this Pure Romance thing. Like, first of all, I'm 49 years old, my mom of 5. And I'm not a conservative woman. I've had a lot of sex in my day. Sorry, babe, but I have. But I just, but getting into, different things, bedroom accessories and the extension of all those things, I wasn't really that into it. I mean, like, I had a dildo before, well, let me correct that. It wasn't a dildo now that I'm educated. It was a vibrator. Yeah. Just so different than what it is we have today. It was not fun. It was old school. Yeah, it was old. It was like, what? What do you all like about this?
Comparable to that, the old school washes.
Not old school phones. Like, you can compare it to a whole lot of things. I'm like, nope, not my thing. So I had never heard of Pure Romance, and then I was just at a point in my life where I'd gone through a divorce. I needed to do something to make money, and working a 9-to-5 just wasn't my zhuzh. I did it for as long as I had to do it, but I was looking for something different. And I happened to see the woman who was my fitness instructor, like 22, 23 years prior. She used to get me in shape for tour and things like that. And I just saw her, on Instagram, talking about, being in her mobile office. And I've been an entrepreneur now for a very long time. And I was like, what is it that she's doing, And I just called her up and I asked her what was she doing. And she told me what she was doing. And she's like, and I know you've heard of Pure Romance. I was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Lies. I had never heard of them before in my life. Listen.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. Sorry, Chris Chicanelli. I'm going to always say that. Fake it till you make it. So I just lied. And I was just like, oh, yeah, of course I've heard of it. She's like, well, go to my website. Okay. Mind you, if you go to my website, I'll just tell you right now, it's pureromanceforever.com. Make sure you put the forever on the end, Pure Romance Forever. I went to this website, and I was like, what is this?
Mind blown.
It was just like, I've got who's-its and gadgets aplenty. Who's-its and what's-it galore. I was like, what? What do they do with that? And that's a thing? Where did they put that? Like, I just thought I was going to be like the next Avon lady selling some, lotions and stuff, which we do sell.
Right.
But I just had no idea. This was like a whole new world to me. So, but I was desperate for money and fun. Wasn't thinking about sexual education or anything like that. I just was for the money. Okay? So I just said, okay, sign me up. Didn't really have the money. I borrowed it, bought this kit of all these things. I had no idea, like, what do you do with all this stuff? I didn't know that there was a platform that Pure Romance had where we provided a safe space to collaborate with women and talk about sexual health.
Wow.
So we do these parties. I didn't know anything about them, and I was nervous. Let me say that also. As someone that's not conservative, I still was nervous. So that right there should tell you that even for someone that's not vanilla, that's had a lot of sex, that's, indulged in a lot of different things, still there's a fear of the unknown. And so I was afraid. I'm like, I don't know what they do at these parties. I don't know if I'm down for any orgies because I got a man. I don't think he's going to be with that. I don't know. I didn't know what they were doing.
That seems to be everybody's first response.
It is.
When I like I've talked about that my soon-to-be ex-wife. She's Pure Romance consultant as well. That seems to be every single time that we would talk about. My wife's a Pure Romance consultant. Or she's at a Pure Romance party right now. They're like, oh, they have orgies right now?
See?
Are they all naked? And I'm like,
right.
Dude, like, why? Why do
but
you go there
that's
with
how
that?
You can determine someone's openness.
Heard that.
To either to the information or just believe in whatever they've heard.
Right. And so that's definitely what you tend to get. And so I went to a party to shadow, right, because I needed to study what it is that I'm going to be doing. And I went in there and I was like, wow. Like, I had fun. It was like a big slumber party without sleeping over.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what it is? this is girls' night. Like, we do this shit already. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get together, we have some drinks, we have snacks, we talk about sex, good, bad, ugly, and different. You know, we talk about relationships. But the only difference was you had someone there facilitating, kind of like, you know, teaching and educating.
Kind of guiding and directing.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, myth busting, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because there's a lot
of
that women don't know.
There's a lot that I've been like, oh, no way.
Right. There's a lot
Are you serious?
that we don't even know about our own bodies.
That is so
right?
true. Yeah.
And so at the end, you get to shop privately in a shopping room with this woman that's been educated. And she's got all these goodies that you get to go home with on the same night. So when you get all hot and bothered and all the kind of stuff, you go home like, babe, look what I got. Oh, about to tear that ass up.
I
right?
heard that.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
lived that.
Yeah, right. I know you did. So that's what sparked it for me. Just it's the education. So it started out with just about the money, about the fun, and then as I began to learn about my own body and things that I've been married for 16 years prior to getting into this business. I had 4 children. Well, at this point, I had 5 children, right? And still, there was so much that I didn't even know. Something as basic as why you need to use a lubricant.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so once I started doing these parties and educating women and seeing the need, then it became a passion to help them in a different way. Because my whole life has been guided towards helping women, even through my music. But now this was just another vehicle.
I love that. So the process of understanding what this beautiful company is about and participating basically helped you understand you in, you know, not just a sexual way, but in so many other ways. Would you attribute you know, being a part of Pure Romance, because I know that you're a huge part of Pure Romance. I know that you're very, very close with you know, some of the, you know,
the founder, Patty Brisbane. Shout out to Patty.
Oh yeah. I
gotta love her.
I love that.
I
She's
adore
amazing.
her.
Absolutely.
And then of course her son, who's our president and CEO.
Patty, I want to meet you. I'm just gonna put that out. I'm putting that out in the universe. Patty, I want to meet you.
I could probably arrange that.
No way. Don't play with me.
No, seriously.
Don't play with me.
I'm serious.
Okay.
You got to be in the
right. Is she a hugger? Could I hug her?
She is a hugger, but it also could depend on the day. She is definitely a hugger.
Awesome.
Right? But you know, we got all these different things going on around here. So it just depends on if something spikes. You know, she's got to make sure she protects herself and things like that. But she's definitely, I get a hug every time.
I'll put on a hazmat suit if we have. I just want to hug her. You know, everything that I've read about the woman, every video that I've watched, I feel her energy. I feel the love that she's put into this amazing company. It's not even a company. It's like family.
It's a family.
Like, it's family. It is absolutely
right?
family.
Yeah, so her and then also her son, Chris Chicanelli, who is the president and CEO, you know, but just the heart of it all is, like you said, it's Patty. And the fact that I'd gone 42 years of my life, I'd been a businesswoman for 12 years prior to this, and couldn't or didn't or chose not to grasp the concept of staying a student. Like, you can have a gift, you can have a talent, so what? You've got to nurture that, and you've got to continue to educate yourself.
Absolutely.
When I had always despised the process, like, I just want to get to the meat of the things and I want to do the thing.
Yeah, I feel that.
But there's a process.
There's a process. There's always a process.
Always a process.
And if you get the process messed up, this is some angel stuff. If you get the process messed up, you fucking up.
Oh, boy. That sounds
that's
like
it.
him. That sounds like
that's it. You know, get back to the process.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, just the sacrifices that she's made, and I really owe a lot of the woman that I've become. I mean, of course, all of the things that you go through in your life help to shape and mold you. But I mean the superwoman that I feel like I've become. It has happened as a result of this industry, this business, this family, this company.
Absolutely. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel some energy in this room.
Okay.
There's some magic energy in here. So I'm gonna look back at my questions because, man, we got off on a little tangent there. You know,
I have a habit of doing that, getting people off on a tangent.
Hey, listen, this is probably like the maybe third show that I've actually come with questions. Okay, so I'm telling you, we're moving on up. All right,
we're moving on up. Hey. Uh-oh, I got him singing now. Stay on point.
On point. Okay. So what is the This is actually a good question. This is one that I have found personally, and I have my own story for it, but I want to get your perspective. What is the correlation from sexual health and mental health? You know, that for me has been a huge factor in my own mental health.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've noticed? Is that something that is kind of
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's linked in many ways. So when you talk about taking care of your health, it's the whole thing.
Right.
Your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional. It's everything. You can't leave the vagina out.
Right.
Like you can't, leave the penis out.
Don't forget
Can't
about
leave
it.
the clitoris out.
About the penis,
you
please.
can't leave, like there's other things. You can't leave those things out.
Yeah.
Whether it brings a mental, emotional, or physical feeling, good or bad, all those things affect you. Past traumas.
Oh, yeah.
All of those things are going to affect
100%.
you as it pertains mental and sex. Think about, I'm a sex abuse survivor. So you think about sexual trauma and things like that. So your mental definitely tied to your sexual health.
Yes.
And that is one thing that doctors have got to get through their heads. And it's not all, but it is a lot of them, the majority. They've got to be able to make that connection and talk about it. But see, the taboos of this world and all of the things that they put on the topic makes it even difficult to talk about.
Absolutely.
Period,
which is I can't wait to start unpeeling those taboos.
Oh, yeah. Part 2 and part 3.
I'm telling you. I'm talking about dive in. I'm telling you, it's gonna be yes.
I might dress up and I might come as Roxy.
Oh, well.
My girl T said, "Man, I may need to come as Roxy."
We definitely need Roxanne to come
Oh,
on.
that's Roxy.
You
Roxy.
gave her a whole full name.
Roxanne.
Right.
Dun,
It's just Roxy.
dun. Yeah, it's just Roxy.
Well, it's like my dad used to always say, Roxanne.
Oh yeah. You don't have to turn on the red lights. Oh yeah. Gotta love it.
So it's burned in my memory, So yeah, but we need Roxy to come up, and definitely gonna bring up more of the other side of Greg. For
Roxy
sure, we can turn it up.
Turn her loose. I don't know.
Absolutely. So
She's not at a corporate event either.
My.
She's not at a corporate event either.
Oh no, this is internet. We have open concert of whatever we want to say, and we're gonna get into it.
All right.
Because I feel like people need to understand that, hey, them thoughts, the things that you wouldn't dare say to somebody else, or the things that make you feel sick to your stomach to share, but you really want to experiment with it, or you feel weird because you're feeling too.
And no shame, right?
No
I
shame.
think about Doja Cat now. Get into it.
Exactly. I feel that everybody
Get into it. Yeah.
should be able to express themselves in all ways, So that's why I'm excited for part 2 and 3, where we turn it up each time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There it is.
Got it.
So before we go to break, I want to bring up something that you said earlier, that you're a sexual abuse survivor. I'm reading a book, and I'm telling you, you know how to write a good book.
Oh, thank you.
The first
Grabs you.
Oh,
yeah. First
my
line.
stomach was sick.
Yeah.
I thought I actually stopped reading the book. Like
a lot of people said that.
Like I literally.
Yeah.
I did too. When I first read the first, I said, I got to put it down. For
Yeah, I put it down for several days, and I couldn't stop. Like just feeling that for you. Like that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the to your abuser, and like I just. It had me,
Yeah.
but then it also it had me kind of feeling some type of way. Like it was,
I'm sure.
I was hurt.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with that, and being in that state and reading that from your experience, it brought things up that for me, and I was like, whoa, man,
You think about your kids, think about their safety and all of that. And it's happened so much, so often, all the time, even more so now today, because there's so much access to children these days. And we were just reading the article earlier today. You've got these this homosexual couple that have adopted kids that they're using for pornography.
Yes.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So awful.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know?
I don't.
And
I don't
trust me, it's
quite
happening with
understand.
heterosexual couples too. But
No,
it's-
I feel
it's
that. I
happening,
feel
yeah.
that. But I don't quite understand the disconnection or like how one can do that to a child.
Yeah, it's a sickness. It's evil. It's all of it.
It really is a sickness.
Yeah.
I mean that child.
Yeah.
That is a absolute beautiful soul that's more closely connected to unconditional love than all of us.
Yep.
You know, and to harm them in such a way,
Right.
it's just, it's beyond me. It
See,
really is
and that
beyond
goes
me.
back to the mental, and
Yes.
the the sexual health, like the mental being tied to the physical, sexual.
Absolutely. That is our cue. Wow, we ran out of time quick, guys. Come back for part 2. We're gonna pick up right when we left off. I love you, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Every single day.
Oh my goodness. Wow, your mics are off.
Oh, I love that sign. Do not touch anything but the mute button.
Where's that?
On the board.
All right, yeah, no, there was a whole deal. It was a whole deal, and I was like, "Wasn't me. What you got? I got cameras. I come in here and I touch the mouse maybe, and I might like do some stuff that you told me to do exactly how you told me to do it. That's it. Make sure I stay clear of trouble. So I've already had my own fair share of technical difficulties. So wow, what awesome energy right now. Like I freaking love this. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Exactly. Man. Oh, my little thing out. Got my little thing out.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta pay the bills. Oh my goodness.
Got to pay the bills.
Go on, pay those bills.
What I was doing.
Oh, I can use the pen. Cool beans.
Oh, we're on break, but we have like 20 seconds left.
We'll be back in just a few seconds, guys. Share this video. Share the video. Tag
going?
someone. It'll be great info.
Okay.
Yeah, some great
Where you on your way
info.
to?
Can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, royalty.
Okay.
It's getting hot now. Getting hot.
I love my life.
Getting hot?
Yes.
The conversation heated you up.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Hey.
Talking about that, and I'm telling him just to be ready when we get back.
I am. Ooh.
All right.
So I'll make sure we go when we get back.
You gonna make? Oh, you gonna make it when we get back?
Yeah.
Pancake soup.
We
We're
have
gonna save
pancakes
it for the
tomorrow.
morning. Damn. Okay.
Welcome back to part 2 of Hybrid Life with Coach Greg. We're here with Angelia Robinson. We're here with Chef T. We're talking about sex. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about psychology. We're talking about trauma. We're talking about all of it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
Hey, before we went to break, we got to make sure that that was kind of like a cliffhanger kind of.
It was,
yeah.
and we're gonna give him a little more of a cliffhanger because
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and read this thing, and because JoCo is the place to be. I'm telling you, y'all feel this energy right now. Y'all hear it, y'all feel it. I'm just saying, this place I'm so grateful for. Thank you, Tiffany. I love you. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn network. To listen and watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. The JoCo Community Radio app is now available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on the JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-839-4245. Again, that is 844-839-4245. Guys, for real, reach out to them. Nona is amazing. Guys, go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote. Just letting y'all know. Love y'all. Love you, Nona. So let's talk about that little cliffhanger we left off on. We were speaking about your book, and how it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. The first day, like right off the bat. So going through that experience and coming through that and being who you are now, how does that experience still affect you, or does it?
Well, I'm sure that it definitely has affected me over the years. You know what I mean? But getting therapy, and where I never really had any type of therapy, like with a professional per se, specifically for my sexual trauma. But it is me sharing experiences. It is me learning and growing within this industry and helping other women. Writing my book was like therapy for me. You know what I mean? And, just growing and changing and seeing different situations, becoming a mother. All of those things I really believe that kind of help you, and just the support system that you have around you. I'm not just like a one-time, sexual abused person. I mean, this is something that happened repeatedly, which it happens repeatedly to a lot of, girls and boys, and even some men and women, right? And so it's starting at age 4, where it first happened, and then you have these things, unfortunately family members, that begin touching you, fondling you, doing different things. And then, your body responds, because it's our anatomy. It's going to respond. It's natural, right? And so you get a little bit older, and then you start getting involved with boys or girls or just whatever, as you're trying to figure life out. And, you're allowing things to happen to you because it becomes normal to you. And even when it doesn't always feel good, like people have different vices, or they have different addictions and things like that, where it doesn't always feel good when they indulge in them, but it just becomes, it's their normalcy. I became a promiscuous teen, just like looking for love in all the wrong places. So it's definitely a journey, and some people, unfortunately, it affects them in ways to where they commit suicide. Hurt people. So the abused becomes the abuser in a lot of cases. Happens more with boys and men than it does with women. But it happens.
Right.
Everybody's story is different. And for me, I think the biggest way that it affected me, that I talked about a lot, was that it made me be someone that wanted to be in control in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that, and your I guess your sexual exploration, how did that affect your relationships? Being like I've got to be in control. What was that?
I mean, it was I wanted to be the one that initiated sex. I wanted to be the one, that said when it was going to happen, and when that did not happen. So when someone did force himself on me, even if it was like a date rape type of situation, because I've had that to happen too. And where, I think there's maybe only one instance that I can think about, and I think I wrote about it in my book, where when I actually broke down and cried because this person who I thought was taking me on a date because they like me, but then they take me back to their place and want to have their way with me. Wow. That as they're unpeeling my clothes, as they are, touching me, and I'm just laying there, you just lay there like you don't really know what to do. You're embarrassed, you're ashamed, you're afraid, you don't really know how to react, and just tears just rolling down my eyes. Just one guy, just one time out of all those times, saw the tears, and he stopped. And I got dressed, and he took me home, and I never heard from the guy again. So it's something that made me just say, I want to be the one that is in charge in the bedroom. A lot of guys like that, so it worked in my favor.
Right.
But I believe it is a behavior that was, it was a result of me not having the control initially.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, I definitely see the correlation. Wow. What just the energy is amazing. I can't imagine experiencing that. But even in myself, like in times of in my youth and that kind of thing, and my party days and all that good stuff, I can recall experiences that I've had that I've noticed that the tears in the eye, or the just like the blank look, and like, wait, man, I don't want to do this.
Right.
And then there's been times where like I didn't, and it's brought up afterwards. And you know, I mean, in that state of being, I didn't handle those situations very well at all.
Right.
Because you're accusing me. It wasn't me. How was I supposed to know?
Right.
You know, you should have said something.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. You
Right.
know,
You didn't stop me. You didn't say no.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
The,
you know,
the typical egocentric, you know, macho kind of thing. You know, so just hearing that just now, it just, you know, it kind of hits different.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful for you sharing that, for my own experiences with it, and you know, as crazy as it might sound, I'm grateful for your experience. Because without either of them, I don't think we would be who we are.
Right, exactly.
So you know, it's kind of surreal, kind of. You know, the energy is heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy. It's heavy.
I got you, and I mean that's huge that you know that you've matured to a level to where you can acknowledge that and you can look back, you know, and I know that it has helped, you know, men and women to where they maybe have come in contact with that person at some point again in their lives, and that person can say to them, you know what happened between us, like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, you know, and I'm sorry, you know, I apologize, because you have no idea how one incident, how it can shape and mold someone's entire life for the good or the bad. You just don't know. Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important to know thyself.
Yeah.
You know, to really know thyself. And that goes for sexuality, you know. So, you know, back to what we were talking about earlier, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about, sexual health and mental health. You know, I feel like the things that I've experienced that really I look back and I'm like, that was fucked up, man. You know, like literally I've had conversations with myself, with that younger self, like, dude, you know, that's messed up, you know, but you can let this go because I'm not that person anymore, kind of thing, you know. But the psychological, the mental health that I didn't have at that point, the sexual health that I didn't have, you know, and it's not in a physical way,
right,
but in an understanding of my own sexuality, you know, that kind of thing, an understanding of my partner's sexuality was a really, really big thing, you know. That was a really big missing piece. So what do you feel is a, you know, like a right now bridge between, you know, where someone that's listening may be at, and really starting to know thyself, and including their sexuality? You know, what's a great place to start?
You know, well, definitely I think that you can get therapy at any age.
I feel that.
Yep, any age.
That is powerful.
And I really think that we all should. I feel like everybody needs therapy.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have been sexually abused to need therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, whatever, just anything that has happened in your life, you know, just having some type of therapy, even if it's just like, you know, becoming a part of, you know, like a self-help group or something. It doesn't have to be so, you know, formal. Yeah,
right,
you know, even I know that, I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, I know listen, I spent many, many years in the church, and there's a lot of bad churches out there, but there are some good ones out there, and it might be like finding a needle in a haystack. You know, but they are also, you know, have some good churches where they have like singles ministries or couples ministries where you can talk about different things. And I think that some churches are becoming more open to those conversations. I mean, I'm hearing it even just from, you know, our sisters in, you know, Pure Romance, that they're actually educating, you know, women that are deeply in the church. The pastors are actually inviting the consultants to have these parties to educate the women. Yes.
Wow, that is powerful.
Yes. It's very much needed.
Wow, I remember back in church when I was coming up. Oh my goodness, you said sex. You just said
listen,
sex.
Christians and whatever other denomination.
Everybody breaking their neck.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Right. And even back then, and even more so now, they're having a lot of sex, and they're having a lot of sex behind closed doors.
Oh, yeah.
And they're sweeping stuff under the rug. They're shaming women.
Yeah.
You know, they're shaming pregnant women who get pregnant. You've got pastors that are sleeping with their congregation. You know, so it's like, come on. You know, you got to take the judgment hat off. All of that judging people has to stop, because they're all doing it.
Exactly.
You're all doing it. And it's not always appropriate, and it's not always being done with consent. They're actually exercising their power, you know what I'm saying, to actually abuse people. You know what I'm saying? Confuse them, and even using the word in some instances to flip the word and make it seem like it's okay to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's been several stories that oh my goodness gracious, that you know, easily flipped over, and oh my goodness gracious, I tell you, it goes deep.
Yes, it does. I don't know if we have enough episodes to really go through all of it. Like, to be honest, we don't.
We can make them. I'm just saying.
Oh my
we can
God.
make them. You know, we can go ahead and we can do that. You know, maybe we can do like a live series on Facebook or something like that. I don't know.
I would love that.
We'll call it into existence.
Pink table talk.
That's right.
Oh, I like that.
Talk.
You know, is it, what's the sign? Is it?
Hey, yes. But you guys signed. You know.
Oh yeah, no, it's this
that's
one.
That one. Yeah. But this one's ours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We heard it. Boom.
Vulva gang sign. That's it. Hey.
Oh man, I wish all y'all that are listening on the radio could see us right now.
Well, my Instagram followers are seeing me, and TikTok followers, and they're loving it. And thank you. They're commenting too as well. A lot of people have read the book. They said it's changed their lives. I mean, I had, you know, our national training we just came from, you know, women, you know, come to me and just thank me because, I mean, again, being able to see and identify somebody else has gone through something similar empowers you because you realize you're not alone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that your past doesn't have to define you.
Yes. That is such powerful words. Because, man, I tell you what, I know me personally, I've definitely come from a checkered background, is putting it so lightly. You know, I've done things that I've regretted for years. I've done things that have led me to literally, I am ready to go. You know, loving myself now and seeing all those things and letting them go. I'm telling you that living for right now is such a beautiful thing, and knowing that all of those things don't define me. It doesn't ever have to.
Nope.
It doesn't ever have to be. I actually just shot a video today talking about the sky.
I think I heard you.
Yeah. You ain't never gonna see that sky ever again. Just like I ain't never gonna see those storms, those tragedies of the character Greg McBrayer ever again. I ain't gonna see that again. Because I choose to take another step.
Yeah.
You know, do another,
take a different path,
take a different path,
direction.
You know, and keep working towards the ultimate goal of being every single second of every single day the unconditional love that I know that I am. You know, and that means a freaky deaky behind the scenes too. You know, and maybe not even behind the scenes. You know, I don't even care if anybody's watching. I'm just saying.
A voyeur.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you gonna do with this guy?
Voyeur is something that everybody needs to put your ears on, because that's something that's coming up in part 3. So you just definitely need to tune in for that. So put this on your calendars. It's coming. All right. Make sure you're following us so that you keep all the updates.
Yeah.
But
even just with that, where you said like, where else do you start? So, you know, everybody is not going to be totally open to just going and getting therapy, right? But these parties that we do, they are a form of therapy.
Absolutely.
You know, and a lot of women, you know, we have private conversations in the shopping room when they're getting products. I mean, Greg, deep conversations. We've had women cry in the shopping room.
Wow.
We've prayed for women in the shopping room.
Wow.
Like, people think that these parties, now I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself and my team. Shout out to the Zella Zebras.
Hey,
you know,
oh my goodness,
yes,
guys.
You know?
So lit and so deeply connected. That is a sisterhood.
Yeah.
That is a true sisterhood.
Yeah. That our parties are fun, they're entertaining, they're educational. You know, it's the perfect mix and balance, you know, to where women do feel comfortable. It's like sex ed, you know, meets stand-up comedy. You know, because that is, yeah, you know, it has, that helps to tear down the walls of shame, you know, distrust and all of that, where someone in the shopping room can tell me, you know, hey, I'm having trouble, you know, being intimate with my partner because I've been abused, and I want to love him. I want to give myself to him, but I just can't seem to, you know, I cry, I freeze up, you know, whatever. Even physical changes have happened to women that I've talked with in the shopping room, where they're not even able to receive their partners physically, internally, because their bodies, their vaginal canal has like shut tight. Because it's, I mean, your body reacts to this trauma.
And you emotionally just turned off and shut down.
Yeah. And so we have products that help with that, like vaginal dilators, things that are doctor recommended, but not all doctors are recommending these things because they don't know. And instead of them saying that they don't know and referring you to somebody else,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They just kind of tell you a little something,
and give you the runarounds and say, take this is going to make you better.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when that doesn't work, this new pill just came out on the market, and everybody's raving about it, right? But who's everybody? You mean the test subjects?
Exactly.
Right.
The ones that didn't know that they were taking the pill.
Exactly. In the first place.
Absolutely. The ones that had all the adverse effects that you and I telling us about.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys.
Yes.
I don't think I trust those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's and we work with professionals in pure romance. We get certified. We have to stay a student. We're always learning. And I mean, I've heard horrific stories, Greg, from some of my clients to where they have gone to therapy, and therapists have told them in regards to their sex abuse, you just have to get over it. Can you believe that? You just have to get over it. When I've heard this, I was thinking, and I will admit that I was just thinking very, egotistically, like, oh, she probably had a male therapist. But no, it's women.
It is
telling women this.
Telling women all of the wrong things.
Yes.
Right? You know how you ever had a situation where you've seen like these made-for-TV movies where a woman is being abused, and next thing you know, they go to try to get help, and it's like, well, just stay until you figure out what you're going to do next, right? Instead of giving them a solution or even helping them with the situation,
resources.
the therapists, the doctors, and it's so sad because you have a vagina just like me. We have some of the same issues. What if this was you or your daughter or your mother, your sister, whoever, right? Would you tell them the same lame excuse or the same lame thing?
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that so deeply, because I mean, that's something that I've personal experience with, and like there's kind of rock and a hard place kind of places that you can find yourself because of choices and decisions that were made and that kind of thing. However, it's so easy to just say, well, you'll be all right, get over it.
Or
it's so
they
easy
blame it on them.
say,
It's a you thing. It's something wrong with you.
Right.
Especially if it's happened multiple times.
Right.
You must be doing something to invite it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't care if I was walking down the street butt naked. That doesn't give you the right to come and abuse
It does
me.
not.
Right.
Because you're supposed to have
Absolutely.
the resistance to not, either help someone, but you're not supposed to abuse them because of the situation or what they are wearing.
Absolutely. I feel that deeply. I also feel that that there's a transverse though. Like you wouldn't walk butt naked down, in Tent City, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go down to downtown Dallas and walk butt naked because why? Well, that if you're going to put yourself in that position, then you're inviting something to happen to you because the surroundings,
But that might not always be the case. What if you are someone that has had a tragic incident happen to you? Say that you're running from your abuser, and
Absolutely.
you're running with nothing.
I feel that.
So at this point, you're looking for help. You're not looking for someone else to abuse, but that has also happened to women.
I have a solution for that. That's why I this is not a joke. It's going to sound like a joke, but that's why Kung Fu. No, not for
You know what?
But for real. But for real.
Self-defense. You need it.
But what if you're impaired?
Yes.
That's true. I feel that. And there's extenuating circumstances that are. I mean, we can go on and on and on about it.
Yeah.
And if you're impaired, like I really feel for that. And there's not, if you've got your clothes ripped off and you're impaired and you're running out and you're in Tent City, there's not anything that you're doing. There's really not a lot that you can do at that point other than to just fight for your life.
Listen, we need men to stand up
and that's exactly what I was about to say. So at that point, it's somebody that is in that much of a vulnerable state. There has got to be at least one person that sees the vulnerability and goes the other way with it.
Right.
And that's the purpose of this show right now.
Yeah.
Is helping everybody understand that there's some crazy extenuating circumstances. There's some things that men have gone through that should never happen. That could actually have been prevented. that could actually have been like something could have been done, that kind of thing, just by, again, like with the scenario we're using, like you see this happening, right now, right in front of you, like protect her, put your coat around her, do
but it's
help,
also that would be
kind of
the most appropriate thing, right?
Absolutely.
And then also it's a saying that we're using all over the world right now. See something, say something,
right?
Instead of just like, oh, look at them. No, something's going on. You need to figure out if you can be the voice to be the solution to that issue,
I feel
or
that.
just calling in for help for that person. Even if you can't be there, you can at least call and say, I see a person on the corner of XYZ and I need somebody to come help this person.
Or even just, we can take it doesn't even have to go that deep. It could just be that, you and I are out on a date, I get drunk, you know what I'm saying? And I'm throwing myself at you.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, and you
Yes.
should be the one to be like, listen, you're drunk, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let me get
Lay
you
down.
safely home.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking advantage
Right.
of that woman being in
And
there.
I want to make a point. I want to make a point for all the fellas out there. All the those out there that have a penis that like vagina. In that state, in that state of being, if that your partner, your date, whatever like that is in that state of being, you're not going to actually enjoy it anyways. You
would think, but
would,
some
no.
listen.
Like hear me out. And I want everybody to listen, because having sex it's not an act about your penis and vagina, penis, vagina, whatever your sexual preference is. It's not just the act of the physical. It's not just an act of emotional either. It's an energy.
Yes.
So
but you got to remember, everybody's not like you, and they're not looking for that.
I feel that.
Right?
However,
so what about the one that just wants control?
no, okay, great. I personally know people that they're in beautiful relationships, and one loves to dominate. I mean, it's crazy, kind of hot, but it's crazy.
Right. I mean,
right?
If the partner loves it,
right.
it's
Exactly.
okay.
The partner is absolutely loves it. Loves every minute of it. Right. So there is that out there. However, when you're in that kind of scenario, even if it's not your romantic partner, your wife or husband or whatever, if you have a deep connection with that person, if you deeply care about that person, and you make sure that person is taken care of in that situation and is in the right energy, then that even the controlling, dominant, semi-violent scenario is going to be way better. I mean, more so than you can even imagine, than if you just slip somebody something in their drink, or your date got too drunk or whatever. It's just going to be better. I mean,
it depends on the person. You can't say that, because I'm telling you, people have different fetishes. People have different tics. You say that because you are a mature human being that can see it that way. Everybody doesn't see it that way. You have
I feel you on that.
You have people that have such low self-esteem that they just want to get it however they can get it, and it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah, everybody doesn't connect the way that you're saying. That would be great in a perfect world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's unfortunately,
well, that's why I'm saying it.
That's
why I'm saying it. I know that it's not like that. But for me, it is like that. And it's beautiful. And I've lived on the other side. Like I said, in part one, like when we were in the first half of the show, I've seen the tears in another person's eyes. I've dealt that damage. I've been there. I've felt that sex. I felt the emptiness that I felt after.
I was going to say empty.
I felt the that guilt that I did, like everything I could do to just push way back and get schmammered.
Yeah.
Just so that I could find somebody else to do it with. So like I felt that. So I'm coming from a position of like, I know what I felt in doing it the way that we're talking about, in just that destructive kind of way. And I felt this way that I'm talking about now, that is I'm not gonna have a sexual relation with anybody that I'm not energetically connected with, because I know that if we ain't energetically connected, it ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah, very rare very rare.
I feel that. I feel that, but I mean, that's why I'm saying it. So anybody that's listening, anybody that's gonna listen, can hear something a little different, and hear something that actually sounds a lot better than what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, at least to my mind, you know, like, and maybe maybe it might not, maybe, but it's still planting a seed. It's still planting something.
Yeah.
You know, so they can have some better sex. Let's have better sex, guys.
It goes back to I love it. Let's have better sex.
I'm
Exactly. That's why I do what I do, so we can have better sex.
Right.
But it's like it starts the foundation. So it first of all, it has to start with protecting the children.
100%.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Protecting them mentally, emotionally, and physically, because they're going to grow up one day, and they're going to act out what has happened to them.
That's right.
What they have seen, what they have experienced.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, gosh, that show flew by. But listen, come back next week. We're going to do this again, but it's going to be part 2, spicier, sexier, and with more love. Love y'all. Ain't shit you can do about it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you share. And if you have questions, we'll get them answered next week. So put them in the comments or slide into my DMs. Love ya.